Hello book besties, welcome to the Lucy Chronicles. In today's video we are going to be talking all about goals. So I am going to go through my 2024 goals one at a time. I have them all listed here. I will tell you whether or not I completed it, and then I will tell you what I'm going to be doing with that particular goal going into 2025. Am I going to keep it the same? Am I going to amend it somehow? Or am I going to just scrap it? I will also share any goals that I'm adding to 2025, as well as kind of some loose ideas for moving forward here on my channel. So let's go ahead and jump in. The first goal that I had for 2024 was to read 100 books on Goodreads. And it is a very complicated story, my Goodreads situation. Hey besties, Editing Lucy here. At this point in the video, I proceeded to ramble and jibber jabber for literally 5 to 10 minutes about my Goodreads situation and my woes over said situation, when all I really needed to tell you is that I currently have 2 Goodreads accounts, one that is active and I am able to post on, I'm able to get, log into and all of that, and the other one that is sitting idle. It's still active, it's just idle. I can't get into it because I have somehow managed to forget the password and the email that I used to sign up for that Goodreads account. One of them is from when I joined Secular Booktube, and the other one is from when I joined Christian Booktube, because for whatever reason I thought that I needed to start a new account when I joined Christian Booktube. I don't know why I didn't just use the same account. That is beyond me why I did that, but my squirrel brain does not remember my login information for my most recent account, and that's all I needed to tell you. I don't know why it was so hard for me to articulate, but I digress. Editing Lucy out. Back to the video. Long story short, combining the totals from those 2 Goodreads, I had read 91 books. A couple other things to keep in mind. January and February are not included in there because I didn't actually start logging my 2024 books until March. And I didn't really start getting consistent with it until like July, I think. So from March to July, some books may have fell through the crack. I don't know the exact number, but I got very close if I didn't hit 100 books. Okay, let's just go with that. That took me a long time to explain, I'm sorry. Hey guys, Editing Lucy here again. I totally forgot to tell you what my Goodreads goal is for 2025. Originally, I was going to leave it at 100 books because I don't feel that that is super ambitious. I feel that it's very attainable for me because I am a little bit more of a faster reader than average, but 2025 is going to be insane. I have a lot of stuff going on with getting ready for the move, trying to stage my house, trying to get rid of stuff, and trying to work out all of those kinks and everything. And I have decided to set a smaller goal for 2025 of 75 books. Okay, I thought I should let you know because I totally forgot to tell you that. Okay, Editing Lucy out. Okay, second goal for 2024 is to read 6 classics. And I did do that. I read Emma, I read To Kill a Mockingbird, I read A Christmas Carol, Anne of Green Gables, and then the 2 Narnia books, the first 2, and then The Call of the Wild. So I actually read 7 classics. Now, I was very general because I wanted to take into account the fact that I always read. Every year I read To Kill a Mockingbird, I read Little Women, and I read A Christmas Carol. But I had 3 that were going to be rereads, and I wanted to at least read 3 new classics. In 2025, I am leaving it at 6. I know that Anne over at In Search of Wonder, she has a challenge where she's got a different prompt for every month to read a different classic every month. And while that would be awesome because I love the classics, I just know myself. I know that I will not read a classic every month. Classics take me a little bit longer, especially if they're tomes or if they're written in that older English that's a little bit harder to understand, or if it's translated like a Russian to English or French to English or something. I still will participate when I can, and I just know that there's no way I'm going to read 12 classics this year. For sure going to be reading Great Expectations. I'm buddy reading that with Beth. We're going to be doing that in the spring, I think. I have The Count of Monte Cristo that I have started, but I want to finish it in 2025. I have Les Miserables, because speaking of Anne, you inspired me. I really want to read that. And then I do have a couple of Jane Austen books that I want to read. Sense and Sensibility and Persuasion I have written down. And then Wuthering Heights is the other one. I also would like to reread Pride and Prejudice this year because it's been a really long time since I read that. And I have a copy of To Kill a Mockingbird in Spanish, and I think I want to try to read that this year as well. Spanish is not my second language. However, I should be way more fluent than I am because it was my minor in college. I comprehend it a lot better than I speak it. And so I really want to challenge myself to try to read that book. So that's kind of the plans for the classics. Moving on to number 3 is to read Jane Austen to 0. And I was very tempted to move this one into 2025, but then I thought better of it because I just feel like I know myself, and I think even putting the 3 Jane Austen books on my TBR that I did is going to be so incredibly daunting. It's a very lofty goal the way it is. Okay, number 4 is to read 6 nonfiction. I read 2 in 2024. I read The Fruitful Wife by Haley DeMarco. It's basically just about being a godly wife and how the fruits of the spirit apply to that. It was very good. I gave it like 4.5 stars, I think. And then I read Hidden Christmas in December by Timothy Keller, which was 5 stars. For 2025, I have reduced that to 4 nonfiction. I want to do 1 a quarter. We'll for sure be rereading Hidden Christmas in December. I also really want to reread Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. I read that back in college, like 20 some years ago, but I don't really remember a lot about it other than that I loved it. I got Seeking Allah, Finding Jesus as one of them that I'm going to read this year. And then there's one on my shelf called Love Does by Bob Goff. 5 was to read the Bible in a year. Definitely did not do that, you guys. I'm going to confess to you, I barely picked up my Bible outside of church in 2024. Cece said something in her reading goals video that really resonated with me. And that's just to be consistent. Just to read a little in the Bible every day. Even if it's just like a verse, even if I just go in, read the verse of the day, and then reflect on it, spend a little time. Just to be in the Word. And that really, really resonated with me. Like, I did write down some more specific, like, these are books that I want to actually read because, believe it or not, even though I've been a Christian my whole entire life, I haven't actually read the Bible cover to cover in its entirety. And for as old as I am and as long as I've been a Christian, I feel like that's unacceptable. It's just not okay. Like, I've studied, like, there are books that I've read multiple times. James is my favorite book of the Bible. I've read all of the Gospels multiple times. Hosea is my favorite book in the New Testament. I've read that multiple times. Same with Esther. I've tried to do the read the Bible in a year, but I get about halfway through Genesis and I fizzle out. And so I think that what I need to do this year is just pick a few books in the Old Testament and pick a few books in the New Testament and just focus on those books. So I've got 3 prophets in the Old Testament that I really want to read this year. Joel, Obadiah, and Amos are the 3. I've never read any of them. I don't even know if I've read any verses from them. Editing Lucy here again. I forgot to tell you the 3 books of the New Testament that I selected to read this year. And those are the 3 smallest books in the New Testament, which are Philemon, Jude, and Titus. I don't know why my squirrel brain did not remember to tell you those. Back to like Cece said, I just really want to be more consistent, even if I'm not doing like deep studies, because I do that at church every week. My pastor is thorough. He does expository preaching, so he will like choose a book of the Bible and like start from verse 1 and just go all the way through. And currently we're in Revelation, and it is amazing. It is so good. I am just really getting fed. In fact, even after we move to La Crosse, I'm going to try to make a point to still live stream his sermons, because he's so thorough and he's so good, and he's always comes back to, how does this bring us back to Jesus? So yeah, I feel like I get a lot of the study in part done. It's just the personal reflection and the personal reading time, the personal prayer time is what I really struggle with. And so I definitely have that as something that I want to be more mindful of this year and be more consistent of. And taking time with Steve too, to be like in the Word together as a couple. So host reading sprints. That I definitely have done, and that will continue to be a thing here on my channel in 2025. They are becoming the heart of my channel. Like, I really feel the Lord has compelled me to use sprints as my ministry. I really feel like I'm getting to know you guys beyond surface level, beyond just the books, and really taking time to get to know you. And that's like that's my heart cry, is to, you know, like, to serve the Lord, to honor him, to make Jesus known, but like also to connect and to serve my fellow sisters and brothers here in the community. And I think that sprints is a beautiful way to do that. So definitely expect more sprints here in 2027. Host a readathon. I did that in December, and it was so fun. Thank you so much again to everyone for participating. Thank you to all my co-hosts. The bingo board is so beautiful. Thank you so much, Amanda, for making the bingo board and letting us use it. I've gotten questions about whether or not I'm going to be bringing it back. I absolutely 100% will. I do not know who all is coming back next year. I'm going to invite everyone back for co-hosts. Maybe we'll have new faces. I loved the larger element of it. I loved having a bigger host group. I really feel like it made it feel more festive. It made it feel more like a celebration, having more co-hosts. So even if all of the 10 come back, or the 9 come back, I might still invite a few more. Maybe there'll be 12 of us this year. I don't know. But it felt so much like a party. It felt so festive and like such a celebration, like I said. And so I loved it. And I definitely want to keep it on a larger scale. Reduce your TBR shelf, your physical TBR shelf. I think that this was a very silly one for me to put in here, because I don't actually know how many books I have on my physical TBR, because I haven't actually counted them. And so I think it was silly and kind of futile for me to put this in here without a starting point. So I'm going to count my books. I'm going to get an actual number. We're going to have an actual TBR shelf this year. Hopefully we can gauge that a little better this year, but I don't think it changed. And if it did, it definitely increased, because I think I hauled more books than I unhauled. So yes, that is unfortunate, but I am going to be way more intentional about this this year, because we are going to be moving. We are in the process of getting our house ready to move to Wisconsin, and I don't want to have to move anything more than I need to. So I'm going to be using this next year to really hone my collection, my library, down to the books that I love. And that's it. And books that I know I will never read again, or books that I know are not serving me or that are not bringing me joy, have to leave my shelf. And that is going to be a huge part of my goal this year, is to reduce the clutter in my library, if you will. So that's how that's changing. Participate in a buddy read. I did several in 2024, and I hope to do several more in 2025. I love buddy reads. They are a blast. They are wonderful. Be more consistent on Goodreads is number 11, and that I feel like I definitely have done. In 2025, I want to hone in on reviews, being better about leaving a little more of my feedback on the book when it's fresh in my mind, because I have this really bad habit of putting 3.5 stars in the comments, ... RTC, review to come. And then I never go back and do the review because I forget about it because I have a squirrel brain, remember? So I really want to be better about, even if it isn't super profound and like eloquent and extensive, to just put some of my thoughts while they're fresh in my brain onto Goodreads right there and then and there, because that that's just something that I need to be better. Stay active on YouTube. That is number 12. So over the last 10 years, I have been on and off YouTube. A lot of videos have been deleted because of just my insecurities. Some of them the Lord convicted me to take down, but I've never been consistently active. So when I joined Christian BookTube, I really wanted to make sure that I stay active, even if I'm only doing one video a month, and I've definitely done that. I'm so happy, and discovering this community has been such a godsend, y'all. Like, I feel so welcomed here. I feel like this is really like a little family to me. It feels more like a family than a community, because we're all sisters and brothers in the Lord, and we're all here for the same reason, to serve each other, share our love for books, but also to share our love of Jesus. And it just feels like a family to me, and I really am so thankful for it. And that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me motivated and keeps me active here, is because of how supportive and wonderful you guys all are. So I cannot believe that I've surpassed 400 subs. That just blows my hecking mind. I've said this many times. I did not come to Christian BookTube for the numbers. This really is my ministry. I do see this as a tool to serve the Lord and to further his kingdom and to bring people to Jesus through books. But I do appreciate and I do celebrate every milestone and every subscriber. It does mean the world to me. Thank you so much, and God bless you, each and every one of you. I love you all so much. This year I really do want to try to be better about posting a video a week. I need to get on a little bit better schedule, not necessarily because I think I need to, but because I just think it's going to be better for my mental health to have that consistency, to have that, that structure. I am going to carry that into 2025. I am still active. I want to stay active, but I want to be more consistent. That is one thing that I definitely want to do here on YouTube. The last goal that I have written here is try 6 new authors. And I definitely did that. Terry Blackstock, Becca Kinzer, Becky Wade, Courtney Walsh, Danny Petrie, Tony Shiloh. I read my first Sherlock this year. I read my first Agatha Christie this year. So I did double that for 2025. So I want to read 12 new authors in 2025. I have at least that on my physical shelf, y'all. Again, focusing on my physical shelf and my Kindle Unlimited. Kindle Unlimited because I am paying for that, so I want to make sure I'm getting my money's worth. I want to talk a little bit about my channel and kind of what I see happening, or I would like to see happening, and some ideas too that I've got moving forward. I am working on a TBR game. I am hoping to have it ready by second quarter. It's going to be very fun. But I will be bringing a TBR jar back for February's TBR. Even though I am a mood reader, I do think that I do better with a TBR because it focuses me a little bit better. So I'm going to be bringing the TBR jar back for February and probably March, but hopefully by April I will have my TBR game ready for y'all. So that's something that you can look forward to. I will not have a TBR for January because I'm planning to take a break from prompt reading in January and just mood read. October, November, and December have just been very crazy. It's been good. It's been fun, and I've loved it. I've loved all the readathons and everything, but I just need a break from the prompt reading, and I just need a minute to read what Lucy wants to read. So that's what I'm going to be doing in January. I'm not planning to participate in any of the readathons that are happening. I really want to. Epistolary January. Lots of my friends are hosting that. And Read in the New Year. My friend Holly is hosting that, and Oshina is too. I don't know Oshina as well. Like, I've never met Oshina, but I just need a break this month. So January will not have a TBR. That brings me to the next thing that's going to be changing a little bit in 2025. I have to give myself permission to say no. If there's a readathon that I just physically or emotionally or whatever can't do, or I just don't have the mind space to do it, I need to be okay with saying no. And I need to accept that I can't do it all. And I need to remind myself that sometimes, Lucy, you need to take a break from sprints, take a break from editing, take a break from reading, and be with Steve, be with the Huskies, be with your in-person BFFs, find that balance. I'm still going to participate in readathons. I don't want y'all to think that. I love them way too much to completely walk away from them. I'm not going to participate to the point where I'm pulling my hair out of my head and it's not fun anymore. Does that make sense? I think that it's so important that we are mindful of balance, that we are not allowing our hobbies to seep into other areas of life or to overshadow other areas of our lives. I just want to ensure that YouTube is not taking precedence over my marriage, over my relationship with Steve. I don't want YouTube and my time spent in BookTube and in sprints and in this and in that. I don't want that to overshadow or seep into my relationship with the Lord, or I don't want to be neglecting my Huskies for the sake of sprints. It's just finding that balance. That's something that I'm just really need to be more mindful of this year. Unhauling, you're going to see a lot of unhauls here on the Lucy Chronicles. I really need to get a lot of clutter off my shelves because there's some books that I just know I'm never going to read. I've just lost the desire to read them. And even though they're beautiful and even though they probably cost me a pretty penny, I just know that there's going to be content in there. Anyway, okay, so a couple of things that I want to run by you guys. And I would like you to give me your feedback. Feel free to let me know your thoughts. So I have a couple of ideas for non-bookish content. I've been watching some friends here that have been doing, doing videos about their other hobbies or other interests or other things that are going on in their lives. Like Holly over at Lovely Day with Holly, she does a lot of crafting. She has an Etsy shop, and so a lot of that is part of her channel too. Cece has covers. She's very musical, so she's got a playlist on her channel that is her covers, and she does baking too. And Reese and Christy and Micah, they're all writers, and so they all have writing content on their channel. And Amanda over at Book Lover Amanda, she's been doing a lot of fitness and health videos. Oh, and also T recently did a color with me video because she likes to color. That would be so fun too. A lot of people have asked about my bracelets and do I sell them? How do I make them? What beads do I use? And a couple of people have even asked me for bracelet making tutorials, to do a tutorial video. And so I just wanted to ask you guys what you thought of that, because that would be kind of fun for me if I could show you this little hobby. I don't know, what do you guys think? Would that be something would you guys watch that? Because it would be fun for me. Enough interest is generated, I would definitely consider doing that. I might do it anyway. I don't know, it just sounds fun. And then the other thing that I get a lot of questions about is our moving process. What are we doing to our house? What are we doing to get ready to stage the house and to get it ready to move? And so I thought it would be kind of cool to document the process of the befores and afters of each room, and like just for, you know, a lot for my sake, in case I ever have to do this again. I'm really hoping that this is the last time that we have to move before we retire, but in case something should happen and we decide that we want to move again, I would at least have this documentation or that on there. Would anyone else find it interesting? I just know that that's kind of a trending thing on YouTube. Like, people just like watching other people go through their stuff and get rid of their stuff. Like, they just really like watching it. I love watching organizing videos and decluttering videos, but would that be of any interest to y'all? Like, would you be interested in like the process? I was thinking of calling like the moving vlogs or something like that, or yeah, moving vlogs. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I think it would be fun. I will probably try it regardless of if the interest is generated, but I'd still be interested to hear what y'all think of that. Anyway, that's kind of it, I think. This video is ridiculously long and it's gonna take me forever to edit, and I will be so shocked if this is out before the first of the year. And I think a squirrel just rocked me. Do you hear Maggie? Do y'all hear her? She's crazy. Hold on. Hold on. What is it, Meg? Is it a squirrel? Is there a bunny out there or a squirrel? Should we go investigate, y'all? What do you see, babe? There's Titus. What's up, buddy? Do you say hi to YouTube? Guys, I see nothing. I see a Bella. That's all I see. And a lot of brown. Y'all, the snow all melted like shortly after Christmas and we haven't gotten any more, and I'm really, really mad about it. Okay, that's all I have for you today. My dog wants to go out, so I'm going to sign off. But I hope you have a beautiful day. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I love each and every one of you. I will see you guys very soon with another video. Bye and God bless.